Hello again, welcome back to another Speedpaint video, and I'm not actually going to be talking about OCs, I'm just going to be spouting, nonsense for like however long this video is, and telling stories that have happened to me, whether they're embarrassing or things that just happened to me recently that I found kind of funny and I wanted to tell. Not a lot of interesting things happen to me that like can garner a whole story or a whole animated story. I wish I could do those, but I just don't have time to. But like, I mean, there's some funny little moments that do happen sometimes. I swear I'm not an anime protagonist. I have the most mundane lifestyle ever. I go to school, I go home, I either do homework, eat, draw, or sleep, and that's basically it. And maybe sometimes you go out to do errands. See, it's very mundane, but you know, I'm used to it. This is how I've been living for like 18 years now, so. And not a lot happens at school either. Okay, there are a few lockdowns, but like, I don't get into anything. I don't get in trouble at school, or I don't like do things that are slightly illegal or just not appropriate. The amount of times where I've had like some of my friends tell me things about stuff that goes on in the school bathrooms is just absurd. Like I've been in high school. Well, I've just been in school in general for literally most of my life, in high school for 4 years now, and I've never had any weird thing happen to me in the bathroom. Which is a good thing, because I don't want to see none of that. But like I remember I was talking to this friend, and she was like, yeah, like, oh god, this better not get age restricted. Oh god. She's like, yeah, there's like, I went to the 3rd floor bathroom, and like, there were like 3 other girls in one stall. And I was just like, what? Yeah, and she's like, yeah, there's like 3 girls in the handicap stall. And I was just like, what were they doing in there? Like, it's just like, oh my god. And then other times there's like another situation that I probably can't say on YouTube, but like, you probably get it. It's really weird and gross. There's so many instances where people have been caught doing stuff that they're not supposed to at my school. It's awful. It is a small town, so it makes sense. And that's why I'm like, wow, my life's kind of boring in comparison to some people's. My god. Like, oh my god. Anyways. And like I mentioned in one of my videos, I don't go to the office that often for anything. Like, I only go if a counselor calls me to check up on like college stuff or grade stuff. And that's about it. I don't go anywhere. I don't go to the office. So like, the only time I got sent to the office is because I was out of dress code. My god. Screw you, Mr. D. Anyways. Mr. G. Yeah, Mr. G. I don't like Mr. G. No one likes Mr. G, actually. Anyways, so this happened today, and this is like during my AP literature class, and recently we started reading Frankenstein, which is part of the curriculum for this year. We have to read a long novel or whatever, and so we had to read that. I read like the prologue, and then like the first 3 chapters or whatever. And in class today, she was like, my teacher, Miss M, she was telling us, so you discuss with your group and talk about things, and that's it. That's basically it. I had gone to the bathroom at the start because I thought, you know, I freaked out a little bit, but I came back and I sat down. We were just talking with I was talking with my group, and we were talking about one of the questions, and I mentioned, yeah, Mr. Walton calls Victor Frankenstein a creature when he first meets him, which is pretty ironic. Anyways, so he basically finds Victor as on a half dead on an ice cube, and Miss M was like, "Then can you repeat that right quick?" And I like stared at him like, "What? Repeat what?" And she's like, "Repeat what you just said." And I was like, "He was half dead on an ice cube." And Miss M was like, no, the thing you said before that. And I repeated, Walton calls Victor a creature, which is ironic. And she was like, "You're the first person to say that out loud about the irony there." And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And Miss M is like, "Everyone, you hear what Ven said?" And then she repeated it to the class, and I sat there, just like, oh no. See, side note, I like attention. I'm gonna admit that. I like a small amount of validation. However, I don't like being put on the spotlight, and I don't like too much attention, because then I start to like get anxious and sweaty and like curl into a ball. No, not actually, but like just mentally curl into a ball. And oh my god. And so she was like, "Guys, did you hear what Ven said? Ven, repeat what you said." And it feels like a Tumblr moment, but then she asked everyone to start clapping. She's like, "Alright, everyone clap for Ven for making that observation." and oh my god, it wasn't embarrassing, it was more just like, "Oh my god, please, no, please, guys, stop." They're all clapping. They all started clapping. I swear it actually happened. It's not a Tumblr post, I swear. They all started clapping. And it was funny, because then I just put my head down. I wasn't like crying or anything, but I was just like, "Oh my god, please, miss, why would you do this to me?" And then she's like, "Okay, everyone stop. She's gonna melt." And I was just like, internally, I'm like, I'm already melting. I'm sweating in my sweatshirt right now. And I was sweaty for like the rest of that period until lunch. And it was funny, because she was just like, anyways, that's an observation that she made. And I just was like, "Thanks for putting me on the spot, miss." Oh my god. I didn't hate it. But I was just more like, "Oh my god, why is this happening to me?" And then everyone started clapping. There was a woman crying in the back. They were screaming and crying and shaking and sobbing, and Obama walked in and gave me an award and said I was gonna be the president in the next 50 years. Oh my god. Yeah, anyways. Alright, next story that happened to me. I guess I'm just gonna do high school stories. It makes sense, because that's all I can remember for now. Maybe I'll do a story in middle school stories. Anyways, so freshman year, I'm gonna, yeah. Anyways, so freshman year, we were outside, and there's a cafeteria, but there's an indoor and an outdoor cafeteria. So we were out in the patio or whatever, and my friend had asked me for a feminine product, because, and so I reached in my bag, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give you one." And I was reaching into my bag, and then this freaking male teacher from a distance saw me reaching into my bag for something, and I saw him looking at me and my friend doing this exchange, and I hadn't fully gotten the pad out of the bag, but I was like, "Does this dude think I have drugs in my bag? He's gonna think I have drugs. He's gonna think we're doing a drug deal right now." Because I know there's been some cases where there was a drug deal happening at my school. I know this. I know. It's probably happened. So I can understand his suspicions. However, I myself, a freshman who has no access to drugs at all, who does not have drug money or drugs in her possession, I don't have drugs, sir. Please stop staring at me. And so, yeah, he's looking at us. The pad wasn't fully, like, out of the bag. I was, like, trying to, internally, I was like, I don't want them to see the pad. It's kind of private. Because this was during a time where I was still insecure about this type of stuff. So I was like, I don't want them to see this. But then at the same time, like, I just don't want this guy to think I'm a drug dealer. So then, I didn't panic, but I was more just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna give it to her, and just, whatever. And so I just basically yanked that pad out of the bag, and just handed it to her, like, "Here you go." And then I saw, like, from the peripheral, I just saw him kind of, like, turn away, like, oops, my bad. Like, yeah, sir. Because 2 freshman girls were totally exchanging drugs. I don't blame him, though, because this was probably during a time where, like, vaping was, like, at its peak. So, you know, he probably thought we were exchanging weed or those vape thingies. I don't know what they're called. See, I don't do drugs. I don't know what they're called. Anyways, this other story, I guess it's also period related. Not really. It's not gross, I swear. But so I was in chemistry class. I'm in sophomore year now, and you know, I had my business to do, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom and do my stuff. And so I got the pad out of my bag and slipped it under my arm, and then, you know, excused myself out of the room. And, you know, I was like, okay, I'm being discreet. I'm gonna just go to the bathroom and do my thing. And so I exited the building, went to the bathroom, and then got to the stall, and I saw that I didn't have the pad, and I was like, oh no. Oh shit, where is the pad? And I thought, maybe I dropped it outside the stall. It wasn't outside the stall or in the bathroom. So I was like, maybe I dropped it in the hallway. And I went out, I went back to the hallway. It wasn't there! Guess where it was? It was in the classroom, by the door. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? And so I just did the walk of shame back to my classroom. And the worst part is, I, like, knocked on the door, and I was just like, oh god. Like, I saw the pad there. I saw the pad on the floor in the classroom. And I was like, oh my god, it's right there. And so my chemistry teacher, he was a male. He's like an older man, you know, like middle-aged man, bald. And he came and he opened the door. I also saw him bend down and pick it up. So, like, he, like, opened the door, and I was like, I dropped something. And he's just like, yeah, here you go. And then he handed it to me, and I was like, thank you. And I just ran. I didn't run, but I just walked away like, oh. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I was just like, oh my god, no, please. Why does this happen to me? I've never wanted to crawl into a hole and die that day. I never wanted to do that so much. I still think about it. It's kind of funny now, but, like, during then, being a sophomore, I was just like, okay, well, guess I'll die. Oh my god. Okay, so I remember in freshman year, there's another freshman story. Okay. Anyways, there's why are all these period related? Oh my god. Anyways, freshman year, this is like PE, second period. Had 2 of my friends with me, one who I no longer talk to or associate myself with, unfortunately, and another one who is still my best friend to this day. Shout out to Asia, love you, miss you. And so, I remember my coach teacher, Miss S. I don't even know, and she was like, she's a volleyball coach or whatever, but I've heard some stories nowadays where anytime the girls went up to her and told them about their menstrual issues, such as cramps or dizziness or, you know, all the stuff, she would just tell them, just deal with it, basically. And, oh my god. This is like, I heard this recently. I haven't had PE since freshman year, but I heard this recently that girls would complain so much, it got to the point where she literally told them, girls, I don't care that you're on your period, just do the freaking exercises. And I'm just, oh my god, pissed me off so bad. Anyways, I'm glad I don't have her anymore, but freshman year, so she usually made us do like a half a mile or a quarter of a mile, whatever, around the track before we did our daily activity. And I told her in the locker room, like a few minutes before class, I was like, hey, miss, I have cramps right now, so I might not be able to, like, run that much, you know. And so she was like, "Oh yeah, whatever. It's fine. Just do your best, I guess." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And like, this is a time where my cramps were really bad to the point where it would literally incapacitate me. Like, I wouldn't be able to get up from bed for like a whole day and stuff like that, and I would get really sick, and it's bad. It was really bad back then. So, yeah, I had taken something for it, and still it was still crampy or whatever. But so we had gone out to the field, and she was like yelling at everyone like, "Okay, guys, just run, just do the freaking half mile or quarter mile, and just meet me on the field after you're done." And he's like, you're being timed, so you better haul ass. She didn't say that, but you better haul ass over there and get to the field, or whatever. And so my friends and I were like, "Oh, dang, okay, well, so much for walking the track," because they knew that I was in pain. And so we basically ran around that quarter mile track, and oh my god, I was in so much pain for the rest of the period. Like, usually when it gets really bad, I'd start having hot flashes, and I would oftentimes that's when there's no point of return. That's when I just get really sick and, start throwing up everywhere. And to this day, I'm like, man, I wish I was more adamant about telling the coach, "Hey, I don't feel good. I have cramps. I will throw up." And if she had just been like, "Oh well, just do the running anyways," I would have vomited all over that track field. I don't care if she had to clean it up. I would have vomited all over that track field just to spite her. That's what I tell everyone now. I'm like, I would have thrown up. I would have puked all of my insides onto that track just to prove a point that I didn't feel good. Because you made me run the half mile. And for what? Just so I could get grades in the grade book. Listen, I usually don't hate a lot of people. I don't like using the word hate either. I just don't like using the word hate to describe people. I just dislike people. Hate is a very powerful thing. Anyways, I usually don't like people without a reason, but sometimes there are times where I just simply don't like anyone because of their vibe, especially adults. Like, most of the time I'm very nice to adults because I'm like, they're just doing their job. They're just doing their thing. At my school, I mean. Just in general. Like, at my school. Because I'm like, they're just doing their jobs. They're just trying to get through life. They don't need another teenager sassing them for no reason. So I'd be nice. However, there are times where I'm tempted to just start fighting back. Throw hands with an adult. For no reason. Not without reason. There's reasons. If they piss me off, then that's when I'm like, okay, I don't like you. Now get out of my sight before I throw hands with you verbally. But that coach, I mean, I didn't dislike her that much, but I don't like her for those reasons. and oh my god, there's this dean at my school that I don't even know who he I don't know who he is. I don't even know his name. He's just bald and short. He's my height. Every time he talks, I want to slap him. I don't know why. For some reason, I just want to just have a verbal confrontation with that man. It's just the way he talks to people. It's like, oh my god, why are you here? Who hired you to deal with teenagers? And it was because we were in the cafeteria because we didn't have a teacher or a sub, so we just sit in the cafeteria if we don't have subs or teachers or whatever. And usually there's an overseer. But however, the original guy wasn't there, so so that dean was there. And this is the first time I've had slightly an interaction with him, at least, or been in the same room with him. And the way he was just talking to us for 20 minutes, he took 20 minutes to do attendance. I mean, there were 50 plus kids in there. But still, he took 20 minutes to do attendance. He kept yelling at us because we were like quietly talking, and he was just like, "You guys, I'm trying to do attendance, and you guys keep talking," even though everyone was just quietly like murmuring to each other in a very enclosed space. So like I can understand his frustration, but it was just the way he was talking to us. I was just like, "Sir," I really wanted to just be like, "Sir, with all due respect, we are teenagers." It's like, and I'm like, "I don't like the way you're talking to us, man. You need to stop. You need to chill. What's going on with you, huh? Are you compensating for something? Like, are you good? Are you mad? What's wrong?" But it just seems as though he's always like this, because every time I hear him like yell around school, I'm like, "Who are you? I know you're a teen, but who are you? You have no power over me." That's how I felt. I'm very short. As I mentioned, I'm a short person. He's like my height, so I feel like this sort of like, I don't know what this is. I just remember being like, I could literally take him if I wanted to. Because I've never felt this much disdain for a human being in my life up until this very moment with this dude. Like, you're bald, you're short. Who are you? I don't know. Also, ow! Oh my god! Ouch. Anyways, this is the end of the video. I've been talking for like 22 minutes. I'm gonna go. Ugh. I don't know when I'm gonna do another character. Oh my god. I don't know when I'm gonna do another character design in Speedpaint, but anyways, next few weeks are gonna be very busy for me. I'm just gonna try my best to keep up the schedule. I hope. I will. I promise. Alright. Goodbye.